Twisted Metal, Season 2 Episodes 6 and 7 explain. Twisted Metal Season 2 just hit us with 2 episodes that crank up the tension, slow down the chaos, and throw a wrench right into John and Quiet's partnership. From Dollface's shocking sacrifice to John's secret wish and Mayhem's first kill, Episodes 6 and 7 set the stage for a finale where the biggest battles might not be fought on the track. Let's break down everything you missed, every hidden twist, and what it all means for the road ahead. Episode 6. Episode 6 takes us back in time before the chaos of the tournament really kicks in, and it opens with a meeting that shapes everything that follows. John Doe's first encounter with Calypso. Out in the wasteland, after getting a fire going, the two sit and talk. Calypso, already wrapped in his own legend, talks about being the great uniters of this broken nation. It's clear he sees himself as a figure destined for something bigger, but in an almost vulnerable moment, he admits his real desire is simply to be noticed. The conversation drifts into the idea of wishes. In a world where survival is often the only priority, the thought of having one perfect wish is intoxicating. That idea lingers in the air as we shift back to the present day and the action. The qualifying round is in full swing, and John turns his car around to save Mayhem from certain doom. Of course, Mr. Grimm is there to make sure nothing's easy. A fight breaks out involving John, Quiet, Chucky, and several other nasty competitors. Vehicles smash, weapons fire, and amid the chaos, some drivers are taken out for good. The plan to turn the tide with a faulty EMP fizzles, and in the confusion, Dollface takes her eye off the prize. She's pierced straight through the heart. Her death isn't quiet or subtle, it's brutal, but it's also a sacrifice. She gives her life so the others can make it through. Raven is the first across the finish line into the city, followed by other familiar faces from the previous episode. When John realizes his sister Krista hasn't made it, the heartbreak is immediate, though the moment is short-lived. The tournament's about to begin for real. Calypso corrals the survivors onto a bus and lays out the rules. This isn't just a single deadly race. It's a series of events, each more dangerous than the last. Medical will clear them between rounds, and they can repair and upgrade their cars as much as they want. The competitors will be staying in an abandoned school, which means forced bunking with rivals, a recipe for drama. John and Quiet end up as roommates. Quiet tries to encourage him, but their moment is interrupted when Calypso calls everyone to the cafeteria. The tension in the room is palpable, especially between Stu and Sweet Tooth. Stu's growing tired of Sweet Tooth's unpredictable nature, longing for the kind of camaraderie he once had with Mike. But irritating Sweet Tooth isn't exactly a long-term survival strategy. Calypso announces the most important detail yet. Each car gets one wish granted if they win. The competitors are called in one by one to declare theirs. When John and Quiet finally step into the room, they're faced with a wishing well and a stack of coins. They toss one in together, wishing for all the walls to come down, a symbolic and literal freedom. But as Quiet leaves, John's eyes fall on Dollface's mask. Memories flood back, and his grief turns to determination. He takes another coin, tosses it in, and quietly makes a second wish, to bring Krista back to life. Episode 6 closes on that secret choice, setting up a rift between John and Quiet that we know is going to blow up later. Episode 7. Moving into Episode 7, the first official round of the Twisted Metal tournament begins. On the surface, it's underwhelming. A capture the flag style challenge where racers have to grab a collectible ticket to cross the finish line safely. But the lack of clarity in the rules is the point. Racers cheat, cut corners, and barely scrape through, and nobody seems to care. John and Quiet actually get a head start thanks to their low finish in the qualifier, along with a radar to locate the tickets. But John's mind isn't on the race. It's still wrapped around the guilt of his secret wish. That hesitation costs them, and they quickly fall behind. This round isn't really about the competition. It's about the fallout from John's choice. This is a man who's spent most of his life in a world where you put yourself first or you die. Now he's in a position where he can't do that, not without hurting someone he cares about. His growth is shown in how quickly he starts feeling the weight of his actions. And thankfully, the show doesn't drag this out forever. He hides the truth for most of the episode, but by the end, he's ready to confess. Meanwhile, Mayhem takes center stage. In Episode 6, She was mostly tied to Dollface, acting as a foil for Quiet when John wasn't around. But now, with Dollface gone, Mayhem is striking out on her own. She targets Chucky Sloop, kills him, and takes his car, complete with an onboard AI named Quattro. She bonds with Quattro almost instantly. This is Mayhem's first kill, which the show cheekily frames as a coming-of-age moment. The best joke of the episode lands here, when she later tells Quiet about the experience in a way that sounds exactly like someone describing losing their virginity. It's a quick beat, but it gives Mayhem depth, shows her bond with Quiet growing, and offers a laugh in an otherwise tension-heavy episode. While John and Quiet struggle to work together in the race, Mayhem proves she can handle herself. She isn't just a tag-along, she's carving out her own place in the competition. Another subplot unfolds with the Holy Men. They meet a violent end in this episode, but the baby they were protecting, believed to be the reincarnation of Preacher Jebediah, survives. The show flirts again with supernatural elements, as the child seems to have unnatural strength. With the Holy Men gone, Calypso takes the baby into his care. And if Calypso is involved, you can bet this is going to end badly for someone. Back in the race, the tension between John and Quiet is simmering. Quiet senses something is off, and when the episode closes, John finally admits it. He made another wish without telling her. He wished for Krista to come back. The screen cuts before we see Quiet's reaction, leaving that fallout for the next episodes. Episodes 6 and 7 together are less about high-octane action and more about the personal stakes that will fuel the finale. Episode 6 sets the emotional groundwork, John's secret wish, Dollface's sacrifice, and the rules of the tournament. Episode 7 slows things down to explore how those choices affect relationships, especially between John and Quiet, and to give side characters like Mayhem room to shine. It's a risky move in a series that thrives on outrageous car combat and absurd violence, but it pays off in terms of character development. The drama between Stu and Sweet Tooth continues to boil in the background, hinting that Stu might betray him or break away entirely. The mystery of the other racers' wishes still hangs in the air, a missed opportunity for more intrigue, but one that could still be addressed later. John's confession at the end of episode 7 sets up a collision course not just in the tournament, but between him and Quiet. He wants Krista back. Quiet wants the walls down. Those wishes aren't necessarily compatible, and in a world where Calypso is the one granting them, there's no guarantee they'll turn out as hoped. The episodes also subtly remind us that Calypso is not just a ringmaster. He's manipulating the game and the players for his own ends. Whether it's taking in the possibly supernatural baby or dangling personal dreams in front of desperate drivers, he's pulling the strings. By the end of episode 7, the tournament itself still feels like it's just getting started. The first round might not have been the most exciting spectacle, but it pushed the emotional stakes higher, set key relationships on edge, and gave supporting characters their own arcs. That groundwork is going to matter when the engines roar again in the next rounds, and when those wishes come due. Creeper's thoughts. With John's confession out in the open, Quiet's trust on the line, and Calypso holding everyone's dreams hostage, the tournament's about to shift into high gear, and not everyone's crossing that finish line. The next episodes promise more betrayals, more blood, and the final reveal of which wishes come true and which ones turn into nightmares. What did you think of John's choice? Was it worth the risk? Drop your thoughts below, and let's talk Twisted Metal.